You're now tuned into STWF TV, the Parlay Perspective. The Parlay Perspective. Where we talk hockey.
Feed Byfield around one man in on goal. Scores! What a goal! Quentin Byfield! And that gets Jim Fox out of his seat here at Crypto.com Arena.
Basketball.
To take matters into his own hands, Van Horn. Now you got to get this in from Curry.
Football.
Oh my God!
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Oh my goodness!
Oh my God!
Wilson's going to lob one, and somehow, some way, Paul Richardson comes up with the ball.
Cuts upfield. Hurdles over a couple of people.
Oh my goodness, did you see that? He hit Steve Brown with what looked like a karate kick.
Baseball and more.
Well, there goes again. Pitch is swung on a miss. Throw to second base is high. They're going to say that Rojas got in the way. It doesn't matter. Sosa tagged him out anyway. That was an amazing catch and tag by Sosa.
In the air along the line in right. Long way to go for Jake. Fouled ground, and he's got it. And he's up and over.
The Parlay Perspective. The Parlay Perspective.
You heard right. It's the Parlay Perspective. I am here with my co-host, Mr. Metawatt, and my man, Jiggy Jake. What is going on with you people?
Yes, sir. We here in the brand, man. Parlay Perspective Wednesday. Usually our play call sheet as we regenerate the schedule, but we do it one more time tonight because every sport in some sense needs to be talked about, man. So like, share, subscribe, STWF TV, all social media platforms, right out. If y'all interested in an STWF sports shirt or parlay shirt, you know what I'm saying, let us know as well, man. You see Will rocking the lovely, lovely parlay.
Cop the merch. Cop the merch.
I
We
like
ain't
how
getting paid yet, but cop the merch.
Yes, sir. I like how Coach kind of implemented the parlay shirt. You know, kind of what I was talking about and put it in perspective. That's dope on this show here, the parlay perspective. You know. We got Incognito here tonight too. Just in case you know, he does have a voice. Just his head's not on the screen. Jake, what's going on with you?
What's happening, y'all? Yeah, no, I'm just getting home from work, ready to talk some sports with the bros.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Exactly.
Man, we got a loaded show tonight. And like I said, man, in the comments, man, shout out to the commenters, shout out to the viewers, supporters, Chris in the building, Bobby in the building. You guys, man, if you got any little topics we can slide through as well, man, let us know, man. If you know, you know, but we gonna start off. First off, y'all still baseball haters? Have y'all watched baseball in the last week? I watched baseball in the last week. I just opened up with that.
I'm out. Yeah. Yeah. You know I'm out for the year. I'm done.
We're about to talk baseball to two guys that don't want to talk baseball anymore at all.
Same energy, for sure. But it's that type of year, man, with the Red Sox are starting to light up a little bit. You know, Rafael Devers is like, I'm not changing positions. He's doing his thing over there. Jake, I
can't wait till we trade his ass.
Nobody watches baseball, but I just throw a little haymaker in there to start off. What we're not going to end with, and that's baseball. So we get a quick 45 seconds of that. And we get into discussions of the discussions. First off, tonight, going down, Western Conference Finals, Thunder, Timberwolves. Thunder have a chance to close this thing out in OKC. 22-7 so far. They're looking like they want to shut it home. One thing in particular in the series is Ant Edwards being shut down. A lot of great OKC defenders at him at multiple times. It's kind of hard for him to get a rhythm. The shots are not going down as they were for the Timberwolves early on in the playoffs. OKC, well-rounded, the best team in the league all year. Getting contributions from just about everybody on their roster sheet. And this is going to be over tonight, man. I'm going to just throw that out there to everybody. Fellas, anything that eye pops you about this series? I mean, we kind of hinted there that the Thunder would probably win the series. But anything surprises you, Dawson?
It's surprising me that it's been a struggle for Ant to adjust to what they're doing to him. It's going to take a while. I also don't think that in a play like this is supposed to be the playoff series that vaults him to be the face of the league that they want him to be, and it's gone the other direction. I understand though. He doesn't have. They have a really good team, but they don't have a lot of help for him offensively. Like offensively, it's kind of him and a band of brothers that he just try to make it work with. But the truth is, he needs somebody who can go out there and like consistently go get a bucket. I don't know that he has that. Now when they're hitting their shots, very hard team to deal with because that spreads the floor, and then Ant-Man has all the room in the world to drive to the bucket and do what he does best. But when they're not hitting shots, their half-court offense is atrocious. Gobert is a black hole on offense. He doesn't really offer much but a lob. That's it. And then they got to be hitting shots at every other position for them to be dangerous.
I feel like the wings in the series. I feel like the wings like McDaniels and Nikhil Walker. Those guys are showing up when they can, but in terms of the post presence, Julius Randle doing not so good things. Rudy Gobert, when he's off, he's off. It's just a lot on Edwards. Shout out to Lionel. He is 23. We're not forgetting about that at all. But the media in the world is never going to forget anything that's transpired, anything that Edwards has said, anything that we've seen in his game. So you got to pay that in mind too.
Yeah, which is, look, I get it. He's 23, but also, not everybody else gets that excuse for the most part. But you're not wrong. Tatum sure as hell didn't get that excuse. They've been burying him since the moment he's been in the league. But yeah,
very solid.
He is 23.
Very solid. On the other side too, man, we got to give credit when credit's due, man. Like I said a couple minutes ago, OKC is definitely heads on heels, the best team in the NBA. They have been all year. Yeah, that franchise, from the way they Danny Ainge themselves into position to get players, very young roster, if not the youngest roster in the league, and they sure can expand on this. Definitely got a lot of guys still in their rookie deals. We talk about dynasties potentially being dead. This team right here could win it this year, possibly could be on the eye for next year. But then for sure that this team, if you haven't seen them play, you've seen them play now enough to see that this team is ready for real. But back to the Edwards situation real quick, and I'll throw it back to you, Will, or Jake. The media, and I said it again, the media is going to come to you. The media is going to get you. Anthony Edwards entertained. Obviously, a lot of people entertain the media. And, I mean, there's things that he said, I'm the best, I'm the guy. You're supposed to have that confidence in yourself, absolutely. But I didn't like today how it was going in the airline like he could never be the face of the league. Hearing guys like Kendrick Perkins speak on he can't be the face of the league for this reason and that reason and that reason. No. Right now is not his time. There's a lot of guys ahead of him right now. And that's the 23 right there. Like, he's 23. He has years to become that guy in the NBA where every year there may be a different guy. Jokic may be the consistent guy. Greek Freak might be a consistent guy. You bring the OGs like LeBron and Curry in the mix, and then you got a bunch of young new talent circling around. Rather, that's Kay Cunningham, going to be nice in a couple years. You still got Wembanyama. You got the Sue Thompson twins. There's a bunch of random guys. This league is becoming its own, for sure.
I'd say there's three reasons why he definitely can't be the face of the league right now. Obviously, the number one is, he's 23. He's a young guy. He's still working on his game. Some of the other ones, number two would probably be the fact that the competition for face of the league is crazy. Like, there's too many guys up there. Like, Shai just won an MVP. You got Luka, who is still going to Luka, and he's in LA now. I mean, Giannis ain't go nowhere. Still out here being dominant. He just needs a better team around him. Joker, multiple time MVPs. Like, man, his competition is too crazy. Also, what Tatum's out there. He gonna take some time to get back with the injury. Also, what even is the face of the league? Like that, you have to be clear cut, not only clear cut above the rest, you also have to be marketably above the rest. And Ant is definitely marketable, aside from his baby mothers and him not wanting his kids. But other than that, he's marketable, but he got to step his game up another level. And this was an opportunity to do that. I'm not going to blame all of this on him at all, not even close. But yeah, he's got a ways to go. He's looking at like 25, 26 before he's even in that conversation, in my opinion. The fact that he was in the conversation now was media created because the NBA desperately wants the face of their league to be American. And of all the players we've discussed who are in the realm of being the guy, like the face of the league, all them other guys aren't from America. Joker, not from America. Luka, not from America. Shea, not from America. So like, yeah, the background noise could hold him back, but I think it's more his game right now and the competition. I think the background noise and his age, those two things are fixable over time, like very easy to fix. But the game part, yeah, he can get better. So the fucking NATO. So like he got competition. The only reason we're having this conversation is because the league wants it to be him because he's an American player. That's all it is. If he was from anywhere else, we wouldn't even be having this conversation about Ant possibly being the face of the league or wanting to be the face of the league or us wanting him to be the face of the league, because we wouldn't care because he's not from America. That's the only reason this is a narrative right now. That's the only reason.
Jakey, got anything to say? Light, heavy, in regards to the Thunder Timberwolves series or anything you've seen from watching any of the 4.5 years?
Well, yeah, I mean, as far as like a face of the league, Will's right. There's too many players on the field right now for us to have a face. No one really stands out except for a Joker type of player, but the league doesn't want an international player to be your player. So, I mean, I don't even care. At the end of the day, I just want good basketball, and I feel like we've gotten good basketball in this playoffs. I think Halliburton's out amazing. I think him and Siakam, awesome 1-2 combo to have, plus the cast of characters they got in Indiana to go with them. But at the end of the day, I think the one that's got like the two best that has the best chance of being in the face of the league is going to be Tatum or SGA. That's my opinion, though.
Another thing I'd like to say, if Indiana somehow won it all this year, watch how fast Halliburton leapfrogs a lot of these guys to get an American.
We're gonna talk about it now, and we're gonna mix that in with the Eastern Conference side, Jake. Anthony Edwards of Phoenix Sun one day? Nah, I'm just fucking with you, man. Shout out to Phoenix.
He can only fucking wish.
For sure.
He can only wish.
Don't be giving me. Don't get my hopes up like that because you're making me.
Also, if he's good out the gate, hear me out. If he's good from day one, watch how fast the flag being the face of the league campaign is gonna ramp up. Watch how quick that shit happens. They would love to have the All-American boy Cooper Flag be the face of this league. They would love it.
Absolutely. So yeah, you mentioned Tyrese Halliburton, Hallie, what the helly, all that stuff is going on. The Eastern Conference Finals, looking like they want to slam the payphones up in New York tomorrow as they go to MSG for Game 5. They're comfortably up 3-1. Overall, great team effort from Indiana. Every single game of this series. You had Halliburton have his away party last night. Triple dub with no turnovers. Miles Turner looks in shape. All around their roster and depth is like it's great. And we talked about the Knicks staggering their roster to go up against Boston, but our brains should have probably been saying Indiana because that was the team that played Boston last year in the East Conference Finals. And what the East Conference Finals that probably would have been. I don't know. If the Celtics healthy, they're not losing to nobody in the league, but these two teams are playing right now. Indy looks real comfortable. New York kind of looks Thibodeau's trying to play some guys this year, but it ultimately comes down to is Brunson as your number one guy, is he enough? And they try to put enough around him, but it doesn't seem like it's going to work in this situation.
They're too much of a half-court team. They got to get out and transition more, and they need other guys. If they're going to be a half-court team like this, they need other guys to score off the dribble besides Brunson. OG got to step up. Mikal Bridges definitely got to step up. Like, they need more. And you can feed Cat, but y'all know my stance if you watch the show a bunch. I love big men that are dominant, but even in the big man era, which was our era growing up, even in the big man era, I never believe, if you always watch Shaq the most dominant big man maybe ever, correct? Okay. But in big moments, they didn't put the ball in his hands. It was in Kobe's hands. You know what I mean? Tim Duncan, best power forward, one of the best bigs ever. But in big moments, ball wasn't in his hands. It was in Tony Parker's or Ginobili, because guards in pressure moments have to have the ball in their hands versus big men.
Absolutely. The wings, the guards and the wings got to have the ball in their hands, and that leads to successful championship runs, man, when that star player can just go and even if you got a big man and that big man's not hot, you got those guys, those supporting casters to go in. And we talk about it. You know, Mikal Bridges, great guy. You know what I'm saying? But is he enough? He needs to get in the gym this season and realize that you're gonna be the guy in the middle. So you're gonna have to hit those. You're gonna have to hit those jump shots on a consistent clip, and you're gonna have to do that because Brunson is doing a lot. Brunson's putting his whole body, everything on the line, as well as all NBA players. But somebody said it. Your team's leader can't be under 6 feet. It's been told that. That's an old time story, Will, and I know you've heard it a million times.
I'm familiar.
He can be a dog, and he can be all that. But you got to have a bunch of dogs around him. Isaiah Thomas, you know what I'm saying, has some dogs behind him. AI was a dog.
He's also one of the rare cases. He's also one of the rare ass cases because he was at 5'11" tougher than everybody. So like it's funny that you pick the one guy like for sure, like yeah, he could do it, but not everybody can do that shit. Like,
hey, Will, you said the thing about not in the big man's hand. I understand he's a different case, but I'm like, unless your name's Dirk.
Even Dirk, you know who closed the games for the Dallas when they won the championship? Terry. It wasn't Dirk. Dirk made some shots, but he didn't initiate the offense like that. Like Terry was their big shot maker for the most part.
Shaq always says the
even
others.
With Dirk.
Shaq always says the others. The others. That's the key name in the playoffs because the star players have been carrying the team for so much during the season that in the playoffs, it's not a break because you still got to go. But these other guys, especially if they haven't gone hard all season and you're at this point, you got to get hot. You got to contribute to the basketball team. And that's what Indiana's getting on their side. And the Knicks aren't getting that on their side. And Thibodeau's their coaching. And we can talk about Thibodeau's coaching, but at the end of the day, it's not his coaching. It's this basketball team and what they are in the big lights. Madison Square Garden. It's great.
It is, but also he runs his players into the ground.
I mean, this year, what they did was spend a whole bunch of money. So that kind of
but still only play like 7 guys. That's the problem.
And
you gotta play. You gotta play the guys.
I mean,
you brought them and play them.
I wouldn't. Cameron Payne, shout out. I don't like Cameron Payne, but I mean, play him. I mean, and to me, it's not even. To me, I just feel like even if they played their roster, Indiana's roster is definitely better. Halliburton though, man. You mentioned him before we hit the topic. Guys emerging. Now, if he's emerging as a superstar, that's a question that can get many answers. My answer on it is he's rising his stardom. And he's a star in this league. And when you make pamphlets and all that, you're going to have to start putting this man on here, hopefully. Because this playoffs, along with if they get to the finals, how he plays, it's going to be under a microscope. But I said to Momo yesterday, I said, I need to see this consistently. And his injuries were the reason why this couldn't happen. But I'm happy that he's in a good space. But Halliburton has a great team around him. He's an excellent team player. That's what separates him from a lot of these point guards in the NBA is that, okay, guys can average 25 and 10. He don't got to score 25 and 10 all the time. But the Pacers this year are a team that's giving them a reason not to have to do that. And when they're getting tired, then he has to come and play. Yeah. So I like the way that they're doing that.
Quick question for y'all in the chat too. Who do you think is a bigger portion or a bigger part of their team success? Shea or Halliburton? For their team. Not who's better because that's a wash. They're both great, and I think they both are great at different things.
I say
Who's carrying a bigger portion of their team success?
Hallie.
I say Shea.
I would.
Shea.
Yeah, for me personally, I'm gonna go Hallie because while his team is good, there isn't, in my opinion, there's not the next guy is nowhere near as good as Jalen Williams. They don't. Chet's good. Don't get me wrong, and also the number one thing that they do is defend. That's always going to be a team thing. Whereas Indy is literally just running and gunning nonstop. It is just relentless buckets, and he maestros the whole show. I don't think there's a right answer here, by the way.
No. There's not a right answer. It kind of swings to me in different ways. Because like I said, Hallie doesn't have to be this all the time. Now, maybe as seasons go, he has to put up more buckets and do all that. But right now, he doesn't. I feel like with Alexander, though they have Jalen Williams and Chet, guys that, have proved that maybe they can be that second guy, third guy when the first guy is not around. They can be the first guy. I feel like Shea has to have a lot of motive for them guys to win, even with the defense. He has to hit the ball in the hoop in a consistent amount of times and have a good amount of points. I'm just hitting on the only loss they had against the Timberwolves where he was just horrible. And that shows, Jalen could have had a good night, but at the end of the day, the score box doesn't say it. I feel like Indiana, and this is a flip-flop because we don't know if we're going to get this Indiana team next season. We know there's a team in the NBA that gets to the finals every year because of adrenaline. And Indiana's got that this year. Shout out to them. But now this is the second time they made it, though.
Yeah, so they made it this far a second time. So, we can start giving them more love, more respect. Yeah.
He's the team play. Now, Hallie's going to get his respect and his roses because he's the marketable guy there right now. But overall, it's the team aspect, and that's why I'm going to go Shea because I feel like Shea has to have good games for the Thunder to win. I don't feel as if Hallie has to have a good game, efficiently game, for Indiana to win. If he's efficient, that's an extra plus. Because now the team's rolling and now he's doing his thing and you're getting that extra hot sauce. But I said this. People like Hallie because he's a team pass first player. He's not a shoot first, pass second player. Though, like a Trae Young, he passes the ball, he scores the ball, but he's more
he shoot
ball
first.
dominant.
He still shoot first. Yeah, he still shoot first.
Halliburton brings that team aspect where a lot of people want to play with Hallie because the team aspect, the friendly aspect of it, and the way he keeps teammates involved, and he's not mad if he's struggling. He's still trying to get others to, if you're hot, we're going to keep you hot. If I'm hot, give me the ball. I want it. I like that. The Knicks suck. And we got to talk about them. Bash them all for how it is, man. Eventually, this is what probably was going to go down. Spike Lee in the arena, Jenks. They didn't bring him back Oakley. Shout out to the Pacers for bringing back the Daddy Halliburton, though I didn't like the move, honestly. It just, to me, the stardom and superstardom, I guess, what it is. I guess Giannis had a say in that, and I guess Giannis is one of those faces. So, yeah, the Knicks.
Yeah, when he's speaking, it matters. That's what's up. I'm actually happy that Giannis did that, though. So I'm with you on. I don't even think that Dad should have been in the building, or at least not put him in a box somewhere, or put him somewhere like he can't affect anyone else, which they kind of try to. But I agree with you in the fact that you can't act up, bro. You gotta behave, man. Your son's one of the premier players in this league, and he's in a playoff game. You can't make it about you. You gotta sit there and just enjoy the game. Yeah, but the fact that Giannis spoke up for him, that's dope as shit. Shout out to Giannis, man. He's a real one. Always has been.
Definitely.
All right.
So yeah, man. So, hey, Pacers going to wrap it up tomorrow?
Oh, yeah. I think it's the refs might give him one more for the Knicks, maybe. So, if that game is somewhat close, I could see the refs helping him out a bit just to extend the series. But I just think Indiana has their number. They just know how to play them.
I'm with Will. I think that the Knicks will beat them in New York tomorrow, and then they'll finish it off in Indiana.
And I think this is going to be wrapped up tonight, Thunder. So
yeah, it's going to be wrapped up in this other game for sure.
Who's on the STWF TV account cooking up right now?
Cooking up, man. The STWF team is in the building right now. They are cooking up.
That's gotta be dope,
you know what I'm saying? Things like that on this Parlay Perspective Wednesday, man. We throwing in here, man. We throwing in little jabs and Jews, man. So, yeah.
If that's coach, he's posting under this account. Because if he posts under his account, we're gonna be like, "Where you at?" even
where you at? Peanut butter jelly time.
We in here, man. You know, we in the news. You see the news in here, man. We go from the guys to the ladies, man. We go to the WNBA, man. Starting off the second week of the league. What an interesting first week it's been. Second week starts off with Caitlin Clark being out minimum 2 weeks with a growing strain. Suffered it in the game against the Liberty on Saturday. That was an interesting game. I feel like the referees definitely had a hand in that game. I feel like the Liberty should have won that game, but it got turned to the Liberty in an awesome game from Jacquel Jones, who had a double-double.
She's a beast.
There's
Clark
too much.
Injured her groin, shitting on motherfuckers. I get it. It'd be like that.
So yeah, man. So tonight they are playing the Mystics right now, and last time I checked on that scoreboard, let me check this here. I was just on it. So yeah, they're down to Mystics right now, 73-64. The Mystics still trying to find angles in their roster. But I like the roster. They're just young, and once they get it, they'll be okay. I feel like Indiana will struggle a little bit without Clark. They're proving that on tonight.
I was gonna say, pay attention to the ratings while Clark's out.
Yes.
I would assume they take quite the dip, which is unfortunate. There's other ballers in this league, but I do understand how to
25%. 25% of revenue, WNBA revenue last year came from Caitlin Clark last year.
But
they announced that 2 days ago. So yeah, definitely in that so all the ladies right now got to take Hoist off. If your name's not Aja Wilson, Brianna Stewart, or any of those New York cats, man, this is right now time to give WNBA and give fans a reason to come watch these games. What we're seeing right now entering the second week, man, is that the top two teams in the WNBA are the two teams that were in it last year for it all. And that's Minnesota and the Liberty. On Minnesota's side, Collier, Williams, they just on the same two-step, man, early on in the season. For them ladies right there. Collier is a consistent 15 to 20 point, 8 to 10 rebound machine. She's balling. The Phoenix Mercury, they lost Kalia Cooper for 4 to 6 weeks, but overall so far their team is balling. Said too, you got other pieces that came from other teams. They are over there hooping. You got the Dream implementing Brittany Griner, Renee Howard, and all them girls, man. That's gonna be a tough out for sure. The Dallas Wings, shout out to our Dallas Wings, got a win last night. Bates Peckers, 21 points. DeAndre Carrington, big contributions as well for our Wings, man. First victory for us. Shout out to our Lady Wings.
I feel like somebody whose name will not be mentioned once told me that whole case that Brittany Griner career was over. Whatever happened to that?
Somebody said that. Somebody did mention that. And I wish that guy was in here tonight because that is wild.
Yeah.
As hell. And Brittany's still playing what I call consistency. We kind of noted that her size, her stature, the way she plays, that's never going to end. And she's on the court, she's going to physically be able to do that because that's love. Like, some people can't really do both things. You know what I'm saying? The mental kind of take that away sometimes in this situation. But this is something that she's loved forever. This is something that if everybody throws her against the wall right now, she can go outside and hoop, and she can hoop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and people
she'll always be able to hoop.
She's a hooper.
She's crazy. She thinks she could beat Boogie. She's crazy, but she can hoop. I love the confidence. Boogie would fucking shut her down. He can spot her 10 out of 11 points and just win that game. That shit's funny.
So in terms of the worst teams in the league right now, belonging to the Chicago Sky, just out early. I just feel like everything changed in the course of almost a half a year with that team. Coaching, implementing new coaches, and with a different coach now, people that are rookies, for instance, like Angel Reese, Cardoso, and them, they feel like they can play differently now because of the new coach. Maybe the coach is more friendlier than Teresa, but they don't need that friendliness. They need a hard-nosed coach that can coach them. They'll hopefully get it together, but I just feel like when you do that, you got rid of Teresa Witherspoon. I just never liked that from the go. I kind of felt like they would be in trouble in a sense, but the background noise about Reese, putting the basketball in the hoop, though she's definitely breaking records, rebounding wise, but the points are not coming really
the
crazy.
rebound.
She had a great game the other night. She had a great game the other night.
Queen of the me-bound.
So I just Connecticut lost to the Wings last night, 0-5 to start the year. We've seen all the counterparts of their team leave. Mabry just feels like she's having a nervous breakdown on the court every time. Mind you, she wanted to be traded, and Connecticut said, "We're not trading you. You're our only marketable piece left." So we're going to be bad.
The only reason anyone comes to these games. I'm sorry. You're stuck there.
Vegas 2-2, Indiana 2-2, teams that we may have on our radar at the end of the year when it comes to contention for a title. Seattle. Shout out to the Valkyrie, man. 2-2 thus far. Next game is Thursday against the Liberty. So shout out to the new Valkyrie, man. Keep it 500 up. That's how you start a franchise, man. Win more games than you lose. But right now it's 500.
True, 100%.
Real talk.
Win.
Best player in the league for me this week. I'm gonna give it to Collier. I'm gonna give it to her.
Collier?
Who I see, man. This is the second straight week I've given it to her. Can't give it to her every time. Bro. But the way this race works is that if she's balling, we gonna give it to her, man.
Would the 2 weeks hurt Caitlin Clark's attempt at a MVP? I assume other people might be hurt for a little bit.
No, I don't think so. It's about the rebound when she comes back. She has to come back and kind of now get in season mode now. And it sucks because you're coming off injury and you kind of want to slow your way into the lineup. But honestly, Will, if it does, that's better for her in a sense.
She don't need it this early.
You can get MVP later on in life.
Not this early. They hate her enough. They hate her enough. Not this early. Yeah. Agreed. Probably won't be the best for her.
Jake, man, WNBA, man. I know your Beckers is popping. You know what I'm saying? And Dallas Wings is your team now.
They gotta win.
But
yeah, just like he said, gotta win. But last night was hopefully a good start to many more wins. Paige went off with a 20-plus point game, I believe it was. Didn't hit no threes, but she was productive. And that's all you want out of a new rookie player coming in with a lot of hype and a lot of energy. So I'm still excited. I get to go see her play live in July. I can't wait. I'm excited.
Have you seen now she's been balling. I've been loving watching Paige. You know, I'm a big Paige fan. But now that she's in the WNBA, have you seen the difference with the shooting with her and Caitlin? Like, there's a reason. There's a reason. Yeah.
You're absolutely right. It is. It's a completely different thing. I still, at the end of the day, even though I'm going to probably get flack for this, I still think Paige is the more complete player. But Caitlin Clark is obviously marketable. She is obviously soon to be face of WNBA.
She's the face now, bro.
All right, thank you. I just didn't want to be the one. I didn't want to be the white guy to say it. You
didn't want to be the white guy saying it? No, I got you.
So, but no, it's entertaining. It's looking up, and I do. I want the Wings to string together more wins. They just don't have. I mean, they had the number 1 overall pick for a reason. Will, I mean, they obviously really just aren't that good right now, and they're going to get more around.
Right. Nah, they got to rebuild. And you know what's going to happen with them? It's probably going to happen exactly the way it happened with the Fever, where there was a reason they had the first pick, but they also had a previous really high pick in Aaliyah Boston, and then once Caitlin got added to that, just a few little pieces around them, and suddenly they're one of the better teams in the league now. So I think it's going to happen the same exact way for the Wings. Shout out to the Dallas Wings. That's our official team. We cover them here on this podcast, and we will continue to cover them. I love that we're going to cover them from their not just their birth as a team, but we're gonna watch them rise because like I just explained, they got their number one. They got Paige. Now they got to surround her with the pieces moving forward, and we're gonna be front and center for all of that. I can't wait.
Yep, it's going to be great. It's going to be exciting. They already got a few good young players on that Dallas Wings team. I think Maddie Seacrest is going to be a huge part of that team. Yep. That was their top pick from 2 years ago from Villanova. Mm-hmm. She's just got to get in the starting lineup and stay healthy for that matter. She wasn't healthy last year. So her and Paige, I think, are going to be a great duo and get a solid big girl in the middle, and everything's going to be great.
Yes. And other WNBA news. There was no racial remarks or slurs or any type of profanity at the Fever Sky game. There was a lot of bite going around, media people talking about it, everybody yapping about it in regards to the Indiana Fever fans and heckling Angel Reese. WNBA says they find no evidence of hateful remarks. Even people on the World Wide Web saying that Angel Reese and others should apologize for what they brought up to the public. And this is going to be a wild season. It's going to be a wild, crazy season, as it always is. And I say this to say that, man. That little thing that they have, it can't last forever. It is not, because it's going to be so many different ladies coming in this game that if both of those ladies are at that part of the game, they'll be talked about. But other than that, I mean, can't really go along with it, man. But I'm happy that the WNBA was able to conclude that and get everything to a health.
So the league will always, from a PR perspective, is going to downplay the race factor of this whole back and forth between them two. They have to. But I guarantee you, in the closed door, they want that. They want that because it is creating conversation about this league. It is making people watch games that might not. I said this the first year that they played in the tournament. Not even about skill and ability. This is Bird and Magic building the NBA. Building what the NBA became that as we know it today. Bird and Magic did that with their rivalry. This doesn't feel like a real rivalry to me because one is so much better than the other, but this is what the league wants. This is gonna help the league actually. It sucks right now because so much of it's being focused on the racial aspect of it and not as much on the basketball portion of it. But this is going to help drive this league just like Bird and Magic did. I just hope they both hold up their end of the couch on that move.
And speaking of this guy, Candace Parker's jersey will be hung in the Raptors of August 25th when they host.
Oh yeah, well deserved. I'll be watching that. I don't
shout out to the former Vol. Shout out to
Lady Vol, the Lady Vol, unless we're talking about Cheryl Miller. I think she was a Lady Vol as well. But as far as this generation and the last generation, the Lady Vol is Candace Parker. Shout out to Candace Parker, probably the greatest one of the greatest basketball players I've ever gotten to witness with my own two eyes.
Absolutely. Especially she ranked third in franchise history with the Sparks in points, second in rebounds, and first in assists. She also played 2 years with the Sky, where she was a top 10 MVP candidate and an All-Star, first team All-NBA performer in 2022. Though she played in her last season in 2023, which is a season that I know she'll probably take back. She was banged up and all that. She's definitely a hell of a talent. When you speak volumes in the WNBA, you speak of the game, you got to speak her as well because she definitely
also maybe the best ambassador of the game right now, because not only does she talk the game and shed light on the game, but she's on NBA shows crushing it. Whenever she's on the NBA panel, it's one of the best things. Like, I love all her takes. Love it.
True. You said ambassador. And this is why she's going to be she's like now the Lisa Leslie, what Lisa Leslie was. Yep. And they tried to bring it up to Lisa Leslie with Rebecca Lobo. This is why it looks so Vince McMahon in terms of this WNBA saga with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. This is going to be the second time this year she gets her jersey retired. The Sparks on June 29th will retire her jersey as well. So this girl's is living. Shout out to the.
You know how nice you gotta be to get your jersey retired in two places. That's nuts, man.
Legend. I am legend. Shout out to Candace Parker. Shout out to the WNBA, man. You know, we love y'all. We're going to keep supporting. And week by week, we will have floor talk, man. Anybody that want to come and discuss WNBA, I know there's a lot of people on the page that talk to WNBA. So come through, man.
Go Wings. Oh, my God. Have we just left him stinking?
Watch the damn deer.
God damn.
Why ain't you make a? I saw you pop in, but I keep forgetting you don't have control right now.
I just been chilling back here for about 30 minutes.
Yo, I know, bro. I was like, yo, why he? And then I realized I thought you hopped off. And I look back down. I'm like, he's still here. Why didn't he got on the show? My fault, coach. God damn.
It's all great.
He didn't want to disturb the cooking.
Way to go, Dick.
We appreciate you for coming.
Yeah, y'all was cooking. Y'all even had Jake in there mixing up some ingredients.
You heard?
Yeah, it's rare.
Jake with the seasoning. You heard?
How y'all doing today?
I want to know what coach think about some of this shit. Damn,
we're doing good. Yeah, man. So, hey, coach, man, we want to just
give us the rundown.
Things, man. Go ahead.
Huh?
We were just talking about the WNBA. If you can, WNBA. How we saw about the fever. Didn't find that their fans were being racist or anything towards Angel Reese. Also spoke some playoffs, NBA in regards to the teams and the ascension of Halliburton. Actually, how would you rate Halliburton today?
The player himself? Or
today. The basketball player.
On a scale of 1 to 10?
Yeah.
I say Halliburton is a consistent 8.
Okay.
And the Pacers are probably going to win the championship.
Hey.
Oh, you got them over OKC.
Yeah, I believe in Carlisle, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I said you got that championship DNA.
Because he's got
a literal horse in the race.
He's exposing Thibodeau right now.
Yeah. Yo, so
and Thibodeau's a hell of a coach.
Great coach, but he's the perfect worst matchup for Thibodeau because Thibodeau only plays so many players, and Carlisle got these guys running.
Yeah, it's going from the time they arrive to the gate to the time they leave, they're gonna run up and down that court, and they're probably running what now? About 10, 11 deep.
Yeah, they play a lot of guys, man. They come up off the bench with guys who contribute, who aren't stars, just good role players, but they do the work.
He does a great job of staggering the starters with the backup players, so there's not a significant drop-off in performance.
He legitimately plays his team like a hockey team. If you're on the team, you're getting out there somehow.
Yeah, he does. Rotations. Had to make it hockey, though, didn't you?
I had to. I'm sorry.
We're not talking hockey. We might get eliminated.
We're gonna get a quick soundbite on hockey. We're gonna get a quick soundbite on hockey real quick since you spoke on it. Coach, your Dallas Stars, man, are making the Edmonton Oilers marketable, and that's the whole point of the NHL. For the marketable teams to go, Coach. And we said we're sorry that Dallas is probably gonna lose the series, man. But I know you're feeling it a little bit that the Dallas Stars ain't competing at the high rate.
So this is a 3-part answer to that. One, it's a good run for us, but this is the same team that backed into the playoffs with 8 consecutive losses. They just got hot. And to be honest, this series should probably be over because we came from behind 2-0 to steal the first game.
Right.
So we're coming down to earth. That's the first part. The second part of that is Edmonton just got our number, man. This is like the 49ers to the Cowboys or Miami to the Patriots. It's got our number. No matter what we throw out there, we have no answer for it. It's going to be, I think, the 3rd year in a row that they've eliminated us. So
same shit happened last year.
It's coming pretty common. But the last part of that question is, I still like. We got a couple of players that are getting a little long in tooth, but we also have a pretty young core. So I say our window is still open for the next 45 years.
I said 45 years. I was like,
I did too.
Hell no. 45 years of losing. Cowboys.
You might not. Yeah, y'all might not even be a team in 45 years. We don't know what's going on.
I know, right? But yeah, it's a little sully around here. The streets kind of quiet. Certain demographic folks a little upset, a little edgy.
Damn white folks.
Thanks, Jake.
Yeah. Yeah, no, hey, Coach, you're absolutely right because you got, Duchesne and what's his name, Ben. They're on their way out, but you got guys coming up like, Robertson, who's obviously shown that he can lead the team whenever Ben's not there.
Yeah.
Hey, that team's safe. They're going to be tough competitors, like you said, for the next. I could see it being just like this for the next 7. I'm not even going to lie, because you got a young goalie that's going to be a star of the league in Ottinger. I've been saying that for 2 years, and I mean he's just done nothing but get better and better. Made my Jets look stupid as hell, but yeah. So we'll just see how it goes.
NHL Western Conference Finals talk. The Eastern Conference Finals, we know there's one team that just won their first game in the last 16 conference finals, and the other one's probably going to be in the NHL Stanley Cup Finals. So there you go. That's your NHL
back
Finals.
to back.
Huh? And they had a chance to go back to back.
The same matchup from last year, right?
Yes, sir.
And that means Edmonton's going to win it. And I'm putting all my money on Edmonton.
That's not a bad idea considering back-to-back's not easy in hockey, man.
Nah, not at all.
The biggest problem that they're going to have is the fact that Stuart Skinner is still in their goal, and Florida's going to eat that alive. And the biggest problem with Florida that the Oilers are going to have to deal with is Bobrovsky. That dude is a wall in the goal.
China, NHL makes the station of news, man. I guess NHL is
slid it in
above the MLB. As you just figured out, WFTV. That's what it is.
In the Indiana Fever, we will see a decline in overall viewership. I think
what?
I think with Caitlin being out those 2 weeks.
Oh yeah. I brought that up. Like, let's focus on let's see what the ratings look like for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's gonna be a decline for all those haters out there that say there's other players in her, but she is the player.
I heard a crazy take, not a crazy take, but it was a solid take saying that the other players in the league don't boost the league the way they should. We talked about this before. They don't show love to each other, and they said this under a clip of Asia Wilson talking to Kelsey Plum, I think at an All-Star game. Or not an All-Star game, but she was talking to Kelsey Plum and basically saying, like, I love Caitlin. I love how she understands her privilege. Like, this shit got nothing to do with privilege. Yo, Asia, and it crushed me. It crushed me because I'm like, Asia, you're one of the best in the game. Why would you do that to another player who's getting a lot of love and building and boosting your league? When the league gets boosted, like the rising tide raises all ships. So if the league gets boosted, Aja, more people are going to see you play and love your game. So why are you out there just talking about Caitlin Clark? She understands her privilege. She doesn't like make it a problem. She understands she's privileged. And it's like, yo, Caitlin Clark's parents got divorced when she was 3. You grew up in a home with 2 great parents, going to a bunch of great camps. You're the one who's privileged here in this WNBA shit, Aja. It's not Caitlin. Caitlin got it out the mud. Yep. Like, I just don't understand that shit. Like, it's not. Why wouldn't you boost each other?
I agree 1,000%. I got
NBA, like,
but I got a question for y'all. Tug may know, Will may know too, or even Jake. Their agents also, do they also have players that they represent in the NBA as well?
Some ladies might, that might be something that's not equal, but some ladies might be agent by, I'm thinking more of the big stars maybe, but like you said, none of this is going to be known unless you look it up, because this is how we try to get the market to know. This is why we need to open this market up. And this is why what Will's saying is very important. And Coach, thanks for the question, because, but we wanted to expand, though, where these girls, and I think a lot of the NBA agents won't mess with them because the money probably ain't right. And a lot of WNBA
I can see that.
Stars probably won't be with these big-time agents because they know the money ain't right now. So hopefully we can broad on this, man.
Well, the reason why I was asking is because my perception of it, because I'm thinking that, and that's a great point you said, that maybe the big time agents don't mess with them because of the money aspect of it. So these are probably some agents who either have little to no clients or they're just not cutting their teeth. But the reason why I bring that up is the WNBA, they've gotten, with the influx of Reese and Clark, they brought viewership and increasing viewership with them. So the next step of the evolution for them is they got to start polishing it up. They are still rough around the edges. Like somebody just spoke about Asia hating on the other person during the All-Star break. That's image right there. Something else that I know that you got to think about from an image standpoint. I was looking at a interview from last week or so, over the weekend maybe, with Brittany Griner, where the reporters, they're talking to her. She's still so upset about a lack of calls from an official that she walks away from the interview to go plead her case, either before, I can't tell if it was before or after the game. But while she's live, she starts cussing at the official in disagreement. I'm like, that's really tacky. Now, you left this reporter that's trying to do their job and give some insight to the fans, left her standing there looking awkward, and then you're cussing on live TV. So all that stuff like that they have no tact, and that's where I think that's where the agents come into play at, in order to teach them how to have professional etiquette, if that's the word I'm looking for.
It's we're talking about Aja Wilson, and you bringing up the question about the agents that represent them. Aja Wilson's represented by Clutch Sports. She's a Rich Paul girl.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, no, that's what I'm saying. Some of the stars may have some big time agents, but like you said, Jake, unless you Google that, you won't know that.
No, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
So other WNBA names that they have is Naz Hillman, Chelsea Gray, Jewel Lloyd, and Alicia Gray. Also, they have one NCAA women's basketball player in Juju Watkins.
Juju Watkins, definitely. Somebody's going to pick her up off the jump. You know, somebody probably had her since she was
Clutch Sports currently represents her as well.
Shout out to Ick. Appreciate you watching. We're going to have to agree to disagree on that, Ick. She's just good. And it's not how good she is. It's the style of ball. It's the style of ball, too.
It's definitely the power of the ball.
You want to know why? You want to know why? Because if that was the case, Sabrina Ionescu had all the hype in the world. And not only did she have all the hype in the world coming out of college, like crazy hype, she also had the Kobe Bryant Mamba stamp of approval. That was one of his disciples. Where is her big campaign to run the league? That would be white privilege. Where is it? She don't got it. You want to know why? Because her style of game isn't as ooh and ah as Caitlin Clark's. She's not shooting from 30. She's just not. And with the rise and the way the game is of basketball, not just WNBA, but the way basketball is played now, with everybody being more skilled and shooting the ball like that, the skilled player who has crazy handle, crazy passing, and range of 30 feet, that's people want to see that more.
Unless you got a dominating lady that's going to dunk every time in the post.
But you don't have that.
You don't have that. So therefore, I agree with you, Will. You're gonna need what she provides, man.
Shooters.
It's gonna grow.
People love watching Curry.
Yes, sir. Curry. Yeah, but Brittany, like you said, Coach, I actually like that. And it sucks that I'm saying that, but they need as much clickbait as they can, just to have people.
Oh, yes, they do.
So when Brittany did that, I'm like, okay, Brittany, I know that's kind of crazy to go about that. That poor lady, who's trying to get her name out there, damn, you fucking up her couple seconds of fame just to talk to you. Because you might be that much of a star to her. But at the same time, Brittany's like, man, fuck all that.
And Took, I agree with you. They need all the clickbait. They need all the shit. However, you got to be careful because clickbait is selling your soul. Because when clickbait,
if that's driving your product, you got to continue to one up it.
because once they get there and start viewing, then what? If all you're doing is cursing and hating on each other, then people are gonna pull back.
Yep.
Yeah, they hate. No, they clap
Sabrina's
Sabrina as female Curry until Caitlin Clark came in.
She was in men's All-Star game.
And you realize last year they tried to get
she
Caitlin
can
Clark.
shoot, bro. She can shoot. Sabrina, I love Sabrina. Sabrina's game is nasty, and she can play, and she can shoot. But watch, like she's just not pulling up and playing the game the way that Caitlin is playing it. Like she's not shooting from 30. Like that's just something that people are drawn to. Like the whole Curry era, like we're literally right towards the end of the Curry era. He's like 35, 36, or whatever he is now. He's getting old, and we still love that style. We love that style of play. Fucking Trae Young got so much love in college and then early years in the NBA because, again, he was pulling up from crazy. We love seeing that shit. People love to watch that because when you want to know why? Because we can't dunk. Not all, but most the average person watching ball can't go do what LeBron does. They have no chance of ever doing what LeBron does because they can't work hard and be 6'9", 250. They can't do that. You know what you can work hard and do? You can work hard, have crazy handle, and shoot it from 30 if you work your ass off. And so that's why Curry was so big, and that's why Caitlin's so big. That's all it is. And yeah, Sabrina did go play in the NBA 3-point contest. But guess what? People hated that shit. I loved it. The real hoopers loved it. The real hoopers loved that shit. But everybody else hated that shit.
And then immediately Caitlin was there next year, and she was going to take the spot of Sabrina. Like, that's the crazy shit. That's what Will's noting. Like, they're not Caitlin right now. Maybe Caitlin is not who we think she is years on down the road. But right now, we can't say that because this is what's going down right now.
Because watch, you know who's going to be a superstar if she gets healthy? And won't matter what color she is? Juju. They've been talking about Juju forever. I am so upset that she got hurt because I hope it doesn't affect her game in a way where she's not going to be the killer that we were watching. I hope she comes back fully healthy. Honestly, I wouldn't even give another year to USC. I'd call it.
Yep, and it looked like Dallas Wings trying to play for her.
Yeah,
bring it on.
They should. That would be amazing.
No. You know who's really playing for her though. As sad as Dallas is, Dallas is gonna have to get pushed up. The Connecticut Sun right now are gonna probably get her.
You think so?
Yeah,
it could be.
They only got literally one. It's bad over there. It's bad, man. It's bad. They want to relocate the team. They want to do all types of stuff with that team now.
Oh wow.
What, do they still got Mika though?
Who?
Nika Mule.
Yeah, but I think she's hurt. No. She was Seattle.
Oh, was it Seattle she was with? I thought she went back to Connecticut. My bad. My bad.
She hurt.
I always leave the banner up. That's hilarious. He said the chop up banner is still up.
Oh yeah, man. Hey, that's WNBA news where you get it from. Coach, you kind of came in at a good time.
Perfect.
Because we gonna ride on the play call sheet version of the Parlay Perspective here. You know, we're gonna throw some NFL into the mix here. Sure. First story, man, we have coming out of New England. Stephen Diggs looks like he's living his best life as he always does off the field. Walking around the streets of the world with Cardi B. And also enjoyed his Memorial Day weekend, as everybody should. But he enjoyed it in a way that the Patriot way may not approve of. We'll find out in the future. But there was video circulating of Stephen Diggs on the boat. You know, just like I said, turning up and having a good time. You know, nothing Paul Pierce like. You know, but at the same time, he's a professional, so some of these things should be, seen. And he was not present for voluntary organized team activities on Wednesday. But Mike Vrabel, who addressed the reporter before practice, was asked if the video was something the team needs to look into. And Vrabel said, it's something we're aware of, and obviously we want to make great decisions on and off the field. Any conversations that I've had with Stephen will remain between him and the club. And Vrabel confirmed that he has been in communication with Diggs as he's been with every player on the roster. We know we just signed this man to a $69 million contract in March. He's 31 coming off the ACL injury. New Englanders, first, on the stand. how do you like Stefon Diggs' first act as a New England Patriot?
Look, would I prefer him be there for voluntary? I think he needs every single snap with the young Drake May. Not for him, he's fine. He can wake up and run these routes and catch these balls in his sleep. That's what Diggs does. What he doesn't have, what he doesn't have is what he doesn't have is the continuity. Y'all gonna stop? Y'all go.
I'm sorry, man. This is it just keeps on rolling.
No. He got to get there and get the continuity with Drake May. That's a young quarterback who is not only still learning the NFL game, but he's also got like a whole new cast of guys in there. Now, that being said, I don't mind that much because take whatever. He's not going to be here all that long. I'd rather Drake May have the reps with the young guys who are going to be here for a long time. Because as you know, we signed up for a 3-year deal. We know how this goes. He probably plays 1.5 of those.
Yeah.
If he starts acting up.
Yeah, because he's going to get pissed off because they're not going to extend him on year 3.
Right.
And he's going to start acting up.
Right.
Yeah, he's already starting.
Well, no, I don't call this acting up.
Nah, it could be worse.
Now look,
Yeah,
everyone's
and it will be.
Everyone's upset and a little pissed off that he pulled out some red pop rocks. Everyone leave him alone.
He had the red pop rocks?
Yeah, that's what it was. It was red pop rocks. Everyone thought
everybody thought it was cocaine.
Crazy. Yeah, it was red pop rocks. Come on now.
It was probably definitely cocaine. But
it was probably definitely cocaine. I think the only thing that, other than this, that pissed me off about the whole damn thing is that we got to see some videos from OTAs today, and guess who the only receivers dropping balls were? Baker and fucking Polk. Get them the fuck out of here.
I told you they need to spend their entire offseason in front of the jug machine, and apparently they did not.
They did not. Anyway, I didn't mean to get off topic again. No, this isn't exactly the prettiest way I want to see the Diggs stint in New England start. Hopefully it's like, smack on the wrist. Let's not be stupid and catch ourselves on videos doing stupid shit like this. And let's focus on ball. We're literally under a couple months away from the beginning of the season. It's time to, bear down here.
Yes, sir, man. Well, I think they'll handle the situation. I mean, it's having fun. But like I said, you were not in voluntary workouts or at work when work sort of open and this is what you devote your life to after a surgery. You got to think differently, man. Like you mentioned, he doesn't have much of a career left. He's trying to get just back into that poise of knowing that he's a guy that's very serviceable. This is why they signed him, because he's a serviceable guy. He competes, he plays. But yeah, we need that for the young core that they're trying to bring in for after you're gone. So you got to teach them guys, man, and it's not the way.
Took says over under Pats wins 8.5. When we broke it down when the schedule came out, me and both Jake thought I think our initial takes were over. He's probably still over. I'm gonna go under here. I think they get 8 wins.
I'm still sticking to the 9-win season.
9 wins and second in your division.
Yep.
Yeah, I can see that. I think it's second in the division no matter what.
Train wreck. And New York's in rebuild mode.
New York's always a train wreck. How about that?
But I guess the Stefon Diggs, the original thing, it could be a lot worse. He could be a Hassan Reddick, who just signed with the Buccaneers and has not reported for any OTA sessions. It's the same guy that told Philly that he was going to report and didn't, held out. Then he gets traded to the Jets. Tells the Jets, you know what? We got a mutual understanding. I know you're going to take care of me. And they did, and he still didn't do what he's supposed to do. This dude's just trouble, man. He's going to finish the twilight of his career just being somebody nobody wants to deal with.
They already deal with him.
Didn't he start out with the Cardinals, and that was the only place he was like,
yes,
I'll be a good player here, and then he went on and do
actually. So he balled out with the Cardinals, but he kind of underachieved based on his draft position. He balled when he was with Philly.
Yeah, he did.
Up until that last year. That last year, it was just he just soured with the organization at that point.
He wanted his money and he just started pouting.
Yeah.
Will Howard says he wants to be the next Big Ben. That's tall order, but not impossible. I like his skill set. I think Will Howard is one of those guys who has a chance to look a lot better in the NFL than he did in college.
He's got the absolute attitude for it, and he don't take no for an answer. He literally goes out there, makes it happen. He forgets his mistakes very quickly, and he's shown it. Hopefully he can do it. I mean, even though I'm not a Steelers fan, matter of fact, I can't fucking stand the Steelers because I'm from Cincinnati and I'm allowed to have that opinion.
Man, you choose and pick and choose when you give a shit about where you're from.
Right. I want to see him do well. It just sucks that it's in the black and yellow.
Agreed.
Yes, sir, man.
Black and yellow.
NFL Patriot, man. Hey, Will has brought an interesting topic here tonight. And I know it's off season, but we're gonna go through some lists. As the off season leaves us into the real dig of the season. It's a bunch of things we're just gonna pick up, out the trash can and recycle them, bring them back to life.
We're doing.
What we're gonna do tonight, man. But before we go to that, Tyreek Hill wants to calm the room down in Miami. Do we believe that?
Who's he calming? It's usually him that's hype. Like, what do we?
So basically, he just wants to kind of go. He kind of try to make bygones be bygones for his recent behavior. As the season ended, and now he just wants to feel calm, loose, man. To just just be on the team, man. No distractions in a sense. I like if that's the way he's trying to go. But in this business here, you kind of want to keep your mouth shut 75% of the time because even though you might want to reconcile things, the team's probably already looking at ways to get rid of your ass anyway.
Hey, come on up here. We'll take him.
So yes, he probably doesn't like his coach. Speaking of coaches, we have a list of 10 NFL coaches, top 10 NFL coaches.
Hey, Will, I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm sorry to cut you off too, Gabe, but you're right. Will, he might actually be open to coming to us because he absolutely hates the fucking Bills. He wouldn't go there. He might come to us though.
Yeah, I'd love that.
Him and Diggs got to be gone for before he comes in.
I'm cool with it. Miami can take Diggs.
But yes,
they can have Polk too. Take Polk with him.
Hey, you might as well take Baker while you're at it.
Just have all of them.
Shit, take Bourne with you. We'll run with this.
Yeah, I don't care about I'm losing Bourne.
I know you don't.
You want to take the call here?
Yeah, I got you. We have the top 10 coaches in the league list. We're gonna start. I'm gonna give you some honorable mentions because there's some good names outside of the top 10. This was born out of my homie. Actually, he was in the chat today. Bro was in here as Lionel. This was actually his. This was his topic. So shout out to that man. Appreciate you, bro. So it all started with Vrabel, and I overrated Vrabel and annoyed the shit out of him. Because Vrabel is not even on this fucking list, which is comedy. But his record doesn't dictate that he should be. So although his record is better than fucking Todd Bowles, who is our first honorable mention. Todd Bowles is that number 15 with the Bucks. Career record of 53-65, losing record, loser. No. And last year's ranking, he was 18, so I guess he moved up. Shout out to Todd Bowles. He's a solid coach, but yeah, he wouldn't be in my top 15. That's for damn sure. Neither would the next guy, Zach Taylor of the Bengals, who is 46-52-1. Another losing record. Not easy
he's
to
fucking
win.
Trash.
Yeah, he is trash. I think he's overrated as hell. I think he had one saving grace on that team when he got there was the defense, and they have dismantled it. It is no longer even a viable defense. They've had an offensive line to fix since they drafted Burrow. Haven't done that really until maybe this year they'll be better. And all they really have done is draft a great quarterback and then draft his favorite receiver. And other than that, T. Higgins is good. But other than that, it's been mistake after mistake, in my opinion. they win games, kind of, but like they always start fast and end. Oh no, they start slow and end well, but like, yeah, Zach Taylor dropped from 9th last year to 14th this year. This is CBS Sports, by the way, I believe. Their list. Yeah, I've never been a Zach Taylor guy, man. I don't know how y'all feel about him. But these are honorable mentions. Y'all gonna weigh in on these selections, but not to the top 10. I'm just running through these honorable mentions. Dan Quinn is at 13. The first guy in the honorable mentions that has an actual winning record at 55-47. Last year didn't have a ranking because he wasn't a head coach yet. Yeah, I think he showed us a lot last year. I think he got that team to a place that we did not at all think they could be, the way they played throughout the season. But again, really helps to have a great quarterback. But I assume he's a part of why he's a good quarterback. At 12, we have Sean Payton. This one was kind of surprising to me. 170 and 105, and you only got him at 12. Last year he was ranked 13, which is odd because I don't think he coached the year before that. But anyways,
top 10.
Yeah, Sean Payton. Actually, we're gonna start the discussion here at 12 because how do y'all feel about Sean Payton not being in the top 10?
I feel him not being in the top 10, but I can see why he's closer than everybody else here. He's gonna hit that top 10 rank. We're gonna see how this Denver team appreciates his coaching this year that they did last year. So we're definitely gonna see the evolution of this second coming of Sean Payton. But 12 is not a bad spot because I know he'll hop in that top 10 by like week 2, week 3, if Denver is.
I think he's at 12 because of this number right here that I've highlighted. The game that he lost 70-20 to the Dolphins.
Oh, when they lost to the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, that was brutal.
I mean,
Coach or Jake?
Sure.
How you feel about Sean Payton being here, guys? Coach and Jake.
What, at 9?
He's at 12.
Oh, 12. These are the honorable mentions. My bad. I think he had a first good year with Bo, so yeah, that's fine to be right there, but not, breaking the cusp of the top 10 yet. I need to see another good season before he's even a thought of being in the top 10. And it needs to be a better year than last year, though.
But it's not a new coach. Like he already has like a whole career that he was amazing.
Yeah, but you walked away for a little bit. This is brand new.
And then he's 18-13 with them since he's been back. It's a pretty good team. All right, well, that's your choice. I got it. Coach?
Say that again.
Payton. Sean Payton being number 12 on this coaching list. How do you feel about him not being in the top 10?
He has yet to really shown that he can be as effective as he was with the Saints without having a Hall of Fame caliber QB. So I'm cool with that.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair. I think he's trying to make another one right now with Bo Nix.
He might. Even though he's a little long in the tooth, he might.
also, I'd like to point out that like the Drew Brees thing, like I get why you say that, but Drew Brees was not elite before he got there. In fact, he was very much not elite. In fact, yes, you can blame it on the injury, but they drafted a guy before he got hurt. That's how unsure they were about him. They drafted Phillip Rivers. I'm pretty sure before.
That's true.
That's valid. Before Brees got hurt. So like they weren't really sure on him either. And then he goes, gets the surgery, somehow makes a miraculous comeback, and then becomes a Hall of Famer under Payton. But I digress. We do need to see more with this Broncos team. 70-20 in 2023. That's a bad loss, man. You can't. No self-respecting coach should have allowed that to happen. They should have. Once they got to 50, I'd have been running the ball like nonstop. There'd have been no more passing. We're running this clock out. You're not scoring 70 on us. All right. So at 11 is Kevin O'Connell. So he's the true odd man out of the top 10. He's the first one out at 34-17.
Is that the Minnesota coach?
Yeah. I wouldn't even have him up here. I think so too. I wouldn't have even had him up here before last season. And then last season he went out there with Sam Darnold, and it looked like they didn't miss a beat from losing Kirk Cousins.
Nah. And then he's going to be up against it this year, seeing how JJ shows up.
Yeah. We're going to see the first time him starting off with a rookie QB and how that works out.
I think the way the team structured and how he coached last year, he's definitely knocking on the top 10 door because he's at 11 here. It's all about how that team presents himself around, like you said, the quarterback. And if the quarterback's not good enough right now, then it falls on the coach. But this QB, J.J. McCarthy, comes out smoking, blazing. This man gonna move all the way up.
Yeah, he definitely gonna be. If J.J. McCarthy comes out and has like a positive season, like a rookie of the year candidate type season, even though in the NFL, can you be in the rookie of the year conversation if you never played it down in your actual rookie season, like the way the NBA is? Anybody know that?
I don't. No, I've never. It's never been common to me.
Criteria is for that.
Yeah, I just want to know. I, in my opinion, I would assume. I don't know. I'm just assuming. I would guess that no, because in the NFL, it's so film heavy for especially quarterback, but it's so film heavy and study heavy that even if you're not playing a year under NFL coaching with film and stuff like that, that's experience. That's a lot of experience still. So in my opinion, I would say no. Whereas the NBA, most of the things they're teaching you, yes, there's some film work, but most of the things they're teaching you in the NBA in coaching is technique on the court and within their system and footwork and all that stuff. I agree. You should still be considered a rookie the next year because you didn't get to do any of that. You weren't on the court. All right. Now we're to the top 10. Let's go. We're the top 10. Number 10, Matt LaFleur at 67-33. How y'all feel about that?
Number 10, Matt LaFleur. No, yeah, I like it. Okay. I like him right there. That's the cap right there. That's it right there. But then this year again, we're gonna see the difference. Coaching is, to me, later ladder of the season going into playoffs for him. It's the total opposite of Kevin O'Connell. I feel he's proven. So can't go through another year like they did last year. Can't do that. The first year they beat Dallas. What I'll say. Go ahead.
One of your favorite things is to call Aaron Rodgers championship a half a championship because of the team that he had. Matt LaFleur walked in there and had Aaron Rodgers when he got there.
Yeah, definitely.
They drafted Love. Aaron trailed off. So some of that record that you're looking at right there is with him walking in with a Hall of Famer. Then he got Love out there. Shaky the first year. Second year looked a lot better. And then last year was a really weird year. I don't know if they were hurt. What it was, they were all right. It wasn't like unbelievable. But they got 11 wins, I believe. And they went 0-5 against good teams though. Against the Eagles, Vikings, and Lions, they went.
That right there is they're gonna have to chopping that up. They're gonna
have to fix that.
They're gonna be the good teams. Jordan Love's intact against these good teams. And overall, that's what Green Bay needs to do. It's gonna be a tough NFC North. We know that. We predicted this storm for probably about 2 years now, and this year may be the time where we see some thunderstorms in this division. It's gonna be exciting.
As much as Love loves to throw, I think they're gonna run a lot more this year. Yeah. You got to get all the mileage out of that man, Jacobs. Coach or Jake, how you feel about Matt LaFleur at 10?
Good spot for him.
I'm trying to think. He's at 10, you say? He's kind of, I guess it's right. Him and O'Connell should be grouped together, though. Because they kind of have like the same type of situation where they can just kind of, their systems are to the point where they can kind of work more with less, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not opposed to him being in that area.
They're also rivals. This is going to be fun to watch. Back and forth. All right, moving on to number 9.
Hey, real quick, was O'Connell part of that Washington staff with all them?
He had to be, right? That it's all the same thing. They're all the same guy. We could check later, or if somebody else wants to check while I'm doing this. But like,
when did that happen? Was that 2000?
Gun in my head, I bet. Yeah.
He came afterwards.
No. He was
He
after.
got to
Okay.
Washington in 17.
Okay.
So
But
they
then
were gone
isn't he
by
under? But isn't he under one of the other guys who was in it?
He started with he was in San Francisco at one point.
All I'm saying is that tree. We've shaken that tree before, Coach, on the show, and that tree just drops a bunch of the same fucking apple. And they're all good coaches. It's crazy.
Because I'm thinking his system, LaFleur's system, the
So similar.
49ers system, they're all plug and play.
Mm-hmm. Very much so.
So
Yeah.
to me, that's a testament of the system that the coach has installed.
100%. That Coach, that's been one of our favorite little like side like quests that we've been doing for the last 2-3 years. Honestly, we've been on that bag. We've been like, we pulled that up like 2-3 times a year for the last like 3-4 years. So I love that conversation. And the best part about that conversation is just we get to revisit it just every year. Who else was involved? Who else is getting jobs now? Yeah. You know who else might be in the running for a new one of those is Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell's starting to build him a little tree. We're gonna see how Ben Johnson does. We're gonna see how Glenn does, but he got himself a little tree going. Funny because he's not X's and O's.
They're all under the was that staff? That staff was under the Jay Gruden tree, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Gruden was in there. Yeah. So
he was under Gruden in Washington.
There it is. There it is. That you keep shaking that tree, you're gonna keep finding good coaches. That's how that goes. That's it. And they didn't win themselves. That's what's crazy. How do they have all the great coaches and teach all that great shit and not win?
Answer that, P. Dollar.
P. Dollar, figure it out. All right, at number 9, we got Sean McDermott. I'm gonna get a little controversial here. He's a good coach, but I just think he has a great quarterback and a defense that I believe
toting his ass.
Good at. Huh?
He's toting his ass.
Yeah. Like when it's all said and done, like don't get me wrong, every coach that's gonna do great things needs a great, and his record is great. 86-45 is a really good record, especially so far on this list. But man, I really feel like that's heavy with his quarterback being Superman, honestly.
Man, I swear he's in the hot seat almost every year.
Yeah.
Every year it sounds like. So how is
this year's Super Bowl a bust?
Oh, 100%. It was that last year, and yet they didn't fire him. So
Josh must love him. I'm gonna say that. Josh must love him enough right now.
That's a good point.
His ass is keeping his job.
That's a great point, too. I didn't even consider that. Yeah,
in terms of this list right here, I feel like this is fair. I feel like 9 is fair.
All right.
Because I guess, I mean, you can't count the conference championships, man. I mean, you can, but you're playing against Patrick Mahomes. So it's kind of like, but you have to at some point beat him.
Everybody.
So I feel like this year may be the year his ass might be fired.
Yeah, and so far his record is, well, percentage-wise, Matt LaFleur's is better, but in a lot less games. So record-wise, so far, his is the best we've seen on the list in terms of when you consider how many games are in it. All right, McDermott, we're out. It's obvious that we think McDermott's on the hot seat every year because he is. So we'll see how this goes. At number 8, we have Mike Tomlin. Last year he was number 5.
Mike, that might be a little bit too high for me with Mike.
He does the same thing every year. They start off. What are they? Oh, they're the flip of the Bengals. So they start off hot, and then they fucking trail, and they trail off track.
Yeah.
I would move Sean up. I would move
really?
Mike down.
Fascinating. I like that.
Yeah, Mike, this is the last year you'll see Mike on the top 10.
Yeah.
Unless he keeps seeing clips of him.
Unless he pulls another season off
Yeah, he got to get to the playoffs, get a playoff win, do something. But also, if we keep seeing clips of him fucking in the coaching room, we're never going to get this guy out of there. I love watching him talk about the game, man.
Oh, yeah, he's a beast. I got a question. Tomlin might be his own demise. So he's pretty involved in player selection, right?
Yep.
Yeah, he is.
Okay, question.
Uh-huh.
What do you think about all of the perceived wide receiver ones they've had that have come and gone?
Well, here's the thing. He's not afraid to go out and draft a guy who's eccentric, diva-ish, whatever you want to call him. But he's also not afraid to let them move the fuck on when they start torching the team. So what I would say is, evaluation-wise, they might be the best wide receiver evaluators in the NFL in his staff. They really might be. Every year they have another guy. Every single year. And they develop them, they become headaches, and they move on. This time they were like, this guy's so talented, but such a problem. We're actually going to move on before we're even ready to, because we went out and got another guy. Also kind of a headache at times.
Yeah, he's a malcontent himself.
That's why I think this is all over. That's why I think this is all set in.
I think Tomlin's the guy that DK will respond to, though. DK can be an issue, but I think DK's problem isn't just he's a knucklehead, because he's not a knucklehead in any other aspect of his life. He's like, there is no videos of him squirting squirt bottles at players or acting a fool the way there was with Pickens. There's none of that. He's a model citizen pretty much off the field. It's on the field. I think it's a passion thing. I think he wants the ball all the time. Too much passion. Sometimes you got to scale it back. I think Tomlin is a guy that he's going to respond to well. It's going to be tough with the quarterback situation. But let's say they end up with Aaron Rodgers, because who knows what's happening there. But let's say Aaron Rodgers gets the start, or whoever does get the start plays well and gets DK the ball. I think we're going to see the best version of DK we've ever seen this season. But there's a lot of ifs before that.
Well, how about we slinging the ball to him?
I know. All right, so Jake, you got anything on Tomlin, or you good on this one?
I'd probably move him down to 10 and then slide the other two up.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I like that take. All right, moving forward, we got number 7, Dan Campbell. Okay, so this one, I think he's too high. And y'all know I love me some kneecap Dan Campbell. I think he's a maniac. I think he's a guy much like Tomlin, but he does it in a different way than Tomlin. But much like Tomlin, if you play for this guy and you're not ready to run through a brick wall, then it's a you thing. You're the problem. Because there's nothing but dedication that I see from him. Now, X's and O's, I'm sure he's good defensively. I don't know if he knows a damn thing offensively. He left that up to Ben Johnson. They're going to be they could fall off huge next year because he lost his two coordinators that are amazing. Also, I'd like to point out, started with the Lions in 2021, didn't move up or down in this ranking from last year. He was 7 last year. He's only 44-35 at 55% win percentage. It's not like he's going crazy. He's just, I think we gave him a pass early on because he took over a dumpster fire, and now he's got them winning. Yeah, Campbell's too high for me. I don't know about y'all.
He's right finna here. He's right near the bottom of the list. And depending on how he does this year without those prime coaches that got away, we will see the demise in him as a top 10 coach. I mean, this is right here. This is right where he needs to be right here. This year is gonna, to me, I mean, he had a lot of he's been a Lions coach 4 years, right?
Yes.
4 years, last 2 years have been fucking baloney, fucking crazy.
Yeah.
First two, So he has to have this year right here to be a positive year because you can't go back negative. Lions right now, they're too high on their asses right now, high off whatever drug in the world. You cannot come down off this high right now. Not this year. In the division they're playing in, you cannot. Gotta keep it going.
Jakey, coach?
Say again?
What y'all feeling about Dan Campbell at 7?
Maybe, coming into the last year, I had no problem with that.
Yeah.
Dan showed a little bit of chink in his arm, but Tuke's never been sold on him. Dan showed he got a little chink in his armor. Now, he's about to get exposed. He lost both his coordinators.
Yep.
So if he comes in and gets similar or better results, out of these new coordinators, then I'm like, okay, I'm ready to put Dan Campbell back in the top 5 because it's his system, that he's got in place. Now he comes in, and the Detroit Lions look like the Detroit Lions. Then Dan's going to slide to the middle of the pack.
Yeah. All right, understood.
Switch him and LaFleur for me.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm going to be amending this list. I hate it, but I'm having fun.
Yeah, this is fun for now. All right, number 6, another one that I got questions about. Look, I love me some Harbaugh, the whole family. I think they're great. But he's starting to turn his Chargers team around, and we've seen him do great before with the Niners. But I think he's the quarterback guy for sure. So he's got to really fix and get Herbert to the level that we all think Herbert should probably be playing at. I guess I don't know what my real issue is with Harbaugh, but there's something missing, and I don't know what it is.
I mean, look, he can be a quarterback guy all he wants, but all they do is run the ball, and that's what they did at Michigan too. So I don't know how he's supposed to fix the quarterback.
Well, I'm about to ask Bill that.
That's how you fix
your perception of him. Does it have anything to do with what transposed at Michigan?
Oh, at Michigan?
Yeah,
because of the sign stealing and shit.
Nah,
actually, if Jake will tell you, I actually don't give a shit about that. I think I'm a Patriots fan. If you're not cheating, you're not trying. Like, it's just y'all forget. I'm a lifelong Patriots fan. If you're not trying to get them edges, you ain't trying hard enough. So I'm not mad at that.
And I'm gonna let my haterade take over. Get this bum out the top 10. Move Sean Payton to 10 and everybody else up.
For me, I don't have a problem with him being up there. I knew him going to San Diego was going to be a great move for them, but they actually showed and flashed way sooner than I thought they would.
What he did with that gang of receivers who I have been well documented as saying there's fucking no one, like that he was throwing and no one. His best receiver was a rookie McConkey. Yeah, they did more than I expected, and I think they gotta have more talent this year. So yeah, I like Jim. I always like the Harbaughs, bro.
Yeah, it's kind of I got an argument with the whole Peyton thing. So if he's 6, then Peyton got to be 7.
That's so okay. I'm glad you said that. I wasn't gonna say it because I know we're trying to keep a good time here. But yes, I couldn't agree more too. If he's here, Peyton got to be up here, man. Like, I don't care what time he took off. He took off time too. He wasn't here. Yeah. So yeah, couldn't agree more too. Great point. Great point. Damn.
Shout out to Jim Harbaugh.
I didn't make it now. All right, number 5, Mr. Hot Seat himself for a good portion of his career. Nick Sirianni for the Eagles. Record 48-20. That's a 70% can win percentage. That's Krista easily. Not even. I mean, I guess Harbaugh is close, but that's the best so far.
Can I knock this one first?
You can, sir.
So it's well documented. I am the president and CEO of this Nick Sirianni Hate Club.
yes, you are.
I got to give man his flowers, man.
This nickel slick fucker, as Unc would say.
I got to give his flowers, though, the nickel slick fucker.
Yeah.
Two new coordinators. One that kind of had a reputation of he was too pass happy. And the other one that had a defense coordinator, good at what he did, but had a system that was pretty intricate to install.
Too pass happy. What coach would that be, Coach?
The head coach of the New Orleans Saints.
Oh, okay. Funny. That guy got a name?
Yeah. Oh, Kellen Moore.
Kellen Moore. Oh, Statue of Liberty ass.
Yeah. So, and to think the simple fact of that Saquon had the second highest rushing season ever.
Yeah.
Hey, he knew the talent on the team, even though he had a great wide receiver 1, great wide receiver 2, good tight end, and excellent line. he knew that it started and ended with your running game, and he set it up every game. He set it up to the point to where it made Hurts look like he was an NFL quarterback again.
Mm-hmm.
But I digress.
I think if we're going to be honest, though, he's a good coach. He showed himself the most last year because, like you said, lost the 2 coordinators and then won it all. Here's my thing, though. The real MVP there is Howie Roseman. That GM is unbelievable.
Oh, absolutely. The best GM in sports. Not
Yeah, he
football,
gotta be.
Sports.
Hey, hold on. Sam Pressure on the line. Like, wait a minute. But you're right. He's right.
Nico's
there.
got
If
something
he's
to say
not
about
one,
that.
he's 2. Who?
Say Nico.
Get him the fuck out of here. It's funny. But yeah, that's I love the takes. Oh, 2. You want to weigh in on Nick?
He ain't never beat that. I agree with that. Comment right there. But nah. I feel like it's good position for him. He's a champion now. He got to hold this spot now. He's gonna have to improve in coaching this year, way more than the rest of the list. I feel because of what we stature him as. But he went through Philly. He got through a crazy hectic year. With the Lombardi. Let's see if he can do what he do this year, man. I got great aspirations for Nick Sirianni, man. I don't have a hate in my body for him.
Oh, look at you go. I'm gonna remember. Clip it. Remember that. OKC up 29, y'all. This shit's over. All right. Number 4. We in the top 5 meet now. No Diddy. Number 4, Kyle Shanahan. 70-62. He was number 4 last year. I don't know how he maintained this spot. I won't weigh in to not sway the opinions, but I know you fellas. I pretty much know how this is gonna go. Go on, weigh in.
Oh, I'm gonna swing first real quick.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, I feel like this is the last year we're gonna see him in the top 5. There's a lot of questions ringing in San Francisco. A lot of questions after last week's signings of the best linebacker in the league, according to Jake, and Brock Purdy. So how long can this man keep the dog leash on? You know, it looks like it wants to come off. But overall, look at the record. The record, 70-62. Woof. Lord there. You would think that that's like a top 25 coach right there. But like we mentioned, San Fran for years was the dog in the pack in the NFC. They were the team to beat in the NFC, and I think that's why he's here still. I don't know how many other coaches there are in the NFC on this list left, but he's probably the last one left on this list, probably from the NFC.
My issue, he's the quarterback.
Probably no, I'm lying. He's probably 1 or 2 left because we know the other big dogs somewhere on this list.
Yeah, he a quarterback guru, right? And quarterback is the biggest responsibility in terms of your success. He's gonna hold the biggest share of responsibility. Don't get me wrong, he's gotten more out of a lot of quarterbacks than a lot of other teams have. But with that being said, if you're a quarterback guru and quarterback's most important position on the team and you've had good defenses, why are you only 8 games above 500? That's all. I got questions, that's all. Coach?
Yes, sir.
Kyle Shanahan at 4. What you feel?
Too high. I'm going to stand on my soapbox and say Shanahan will get shit canned this year.
Yeah, that has been your take. That's why I asked you. That's funny.
I probably put him just outside of the top 10. If I can, I'll probably at the most number 9, but just outside of the top 10.
That's a few guys we moved out of the top 10, thus bringing me back around to fucking Peyton belongs in the top 10.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Hey, yo, they bury Bonds and my man Aaron Judge right now, man, in Los Angeles, man. It's crazy.
Oh, they're gonna walk up 1,000 times this year, yeah.
Other than the obvious number, because we all know who the number 1 head coach is going to be, but other than the obvious number 1, Peyton you might be right, Will. He's done more than any other coaches that we talked about after him.
Oh, for sure. He has, like, for example, we're at Kyle Shanahan right now. Mm-hmm. He has 100 more wins than him.
Yeah.
Literally 100. That is 2 or 3 whole coaching careers, 4 or 5 whole coaching careers worth of more wins.
And he's got a Super Bowl like Sirianni.
Mm-hmm.
And he, as you mentioned earlier, developed a Hall of Fame quarterback in Drew Brees.
Mm-hmm.
And the most important thing is he brought a championship to a loser organization.
That was so harsh, and I love it. They deserve it. You're not on camera, but like if you were, you'd have been like a loser organization.
Yeah, I definitely had the Grinch face.
I'm him. And also, I think with Peyton too, some of that record you got to consider the fact that they lost like 2 seasons mentally to Katrina. That's a crazy situation.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that was
San Antonio. They helped rebuild the state. They helped rebuild the motherfucker. Like, yeah, man. Yeah, Peyton needed more love than 12.
Yeah, right. I'm with Will on that. I can move Peyton up.
We're done with Shanahan. Now, top 3. At number 3, John Harbaugh.
Yeah,
who is the first?
Too high.
Hey, I'll say this though. He's the first of all of these coaches to have more wins than Peyton at 172 wins.
I mean, are we gonna
and no Super Bowl appearances?
But at the same time, well, okay, I understand that part, Coach. But we got to understand one thing here. This list has to do with a little bit of consistency, and he has consistently had winning records.
Yeah, that's true.
And consistently taken them to the playoffs, and consistently not really had any hiccups or misfalls. They're just that good. The Ravens contend every year, no matter what.
Every year they're in it. And he's made a quarterback out of a guy that everyone thought should be receiver.
Yeah, and you know me, I'm
building towards a Hall of Fame quarterback.
I'm the biggest rager when it comes to hating the Baltimore Ravens, but I'm not gonna sit here and act like they're not a great football team. And he's at the helm.
I also love that he maintained their physical style of play that they had in their heyday. They're obviously not the same.
Yep.
You don't have Ray Lewis out there. You don't got Ed Reed out there, but they play with the same exact fervor and veracity that those teams played with. They're just not as good, but they played the same.
I allowed their division rivals in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, hardest hit in the division. They beat each other up there.
Yeah, he's way better than his bitch ass brother.
Yeah, we get it. Michigan, get over yourself. Fucking Michigan hater. Took.
John.
How do you feel about John being 3?
All of 5. This list right here hits the consistency button in all. Even though we disagree on some things, maybe agree on a lot more. The top coaches in the league for the last 5 years is probably on the top of this list. So Peyton and Harbaugh, they'll be back there shortly. This NFL just got to fill them out a little bit. But these are the top guys right now, according to the list here. John definitely consistently gets the Ravens to where they should be, but his next step is obviously, we know, to get them where some people want them to be, and that's the Super Bowl. So. Yeah, man. It's gonna be interesting to see.
I haven't read any of the other stuff for other people, but they talked about him entering the buzzer-beating first-rounder Lamar Jackson. And they said the problem, of course, is that 2018 coincided with the beginning of Patrick Mahomes and Josh Rookie's rookie campaign, and then Josh Allen's rookie campaign, and then also Burrow arrived soon after. So, he's had to deal with a lot of shit in the AFC, and they've been consistent, man. I love some Harbaugh. I do. Great coach. 3 is fine for me. I'm not mad at this. This one is crazy, I think, but I get it, but it's wild. Sean McVay at number 2.
Harbaugh above him.
I would have to agree with that. However, Sean McVay they have the same amount of Super Bowl wins, and he did it way quicker.
And he went twice. One of them with a quarterback he traded.
Yeah. He went one with the quarterback and lost to the end of the dynasty Patriots. which is still Tom Brady the GOAT. That's the only reason he lost, honestly.
Why he's there?
Traded that quarterback, and then went back and won it.
Yeah,
with Stafford, the guy who they couldn't win any games with the Lions.
I would definitely take Harbaugh. I would take Harbaugh probably at 2. I'll pick McVay at 3, but I'm not mad at McVay at 2 if this consistency of this list that they have here is consistent. This dude is out of everybody on this list, he's the cool guy. He's you walk in the room young. And he's young and he looks like us. And he doesn't have we would prefer him with a waffle in his hand. But at the end of the day, he's done a lot of things this year with a team that we thought would probably be in the smoke chamber. They was busting. They was doing their thing.
Chris, everyone can beat your Bengals.
Applaud for that. Sean gets an applaud for that, for having that team ready for whatever happened last year. And a lot of things did happen last year, and he was able to keep that team up. So I'm not mad at McVay at 2, but I would have him at 3.
So my first thing that I was going to say about him, I ended up reading it in the little excerpt here. Unlike a lot of these quarterbacks, he's helping shop for the ingredients more than a lot of them. He's huge in the front office. He's making a lot of these picks. He's the main one who found Puka. He's the one who went out and wanted Jared Verse. These are heavy top contributors on their team now. So I'm going to give him slight marks above some of the other coaches because he's helping build these teams, not just making them win. But yes, I think 2 is a little too high. Probably would have Harbaugh up there. And after all our discussion, Peyton should probably be up there. I would have him above Shanahan still. And Sirianni, so my new thing with Sirianni is going to be just I wonder how he does when the GM isn't picking him the best fucking ingredients of all time. But
the hell are you on? We beat you game 1 last season, Chris.
Oh, you got Chris problems? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not the problems you want. All right, and number 1, I think we all knew
Mike
this was
Vrabel.
coming. Mr. Andy Reid, who has an astonishing amount of wins at 273. The man has more losses than anyone else on this list has wins. That's how long he's been around. But with the Chiefs, he has been pristine. Whatever you thought he was with the Eagles, he's been that and more with the Chiefs.
He's the longest reigning coach in the NFL, correct?
Yes, he is.
Well, shout out to Andy Reid, man. Like you said, we would prefer Waffle House menu in our hands. And that's what we're getting with him. He's all about eating and all about business at the same time, man. Multitasking at his best. This man, year after year, maybe his team doesn't have it this year. Maybe they're not going to make the Super Bowl this year. And then what happens? They're there. It may not, and a lot of times it may be the guy under center that gets the credit. But we got to remember that this is the man that is the credit. Andy Reid is the credit. This is why Patrick Mahomes and all them got unlimited credit. Because they got a good bank.
And for those, seriously. That's a good way to put it. This is why they got the credit, got a good banker. And to put it into perspective, a lot of these guys are at the 58 or 55 to 58 to 60% win percentage. Andy Reid had a 60% win percentage before he ever got Patrick Mahomes. So, and with Patrick Mahomes, it's moved him up to 65%. Y'all know I'm not a big McNabb guy. Andy Reid's the real deal. He had Alex Smith playing pretty good too before his leg got. Oh wait, was that before or after? Yeah, before his leg got turned into a noodle, I believe. And that is. Oh wait, Jake, Coach, y'all want to speak on Andy Reid?
Nah, I already knew he was number 1.
Yeah, we did.
I'm right there with him.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, that has been our top 10 coaches with our couple of honorable mentions. Shout out to Lionel. Appreciate you, brother, for that topic. I told you we were going to make that shit go, and we did. And it's about our time, unless we got more topics. You do have one more topic.
No, just one more quick topic just to breeze through here. Everybody knows this was Dan, former owner of WWE stepped down last year in regards to a bunch of court cases, scandals that are brung up against him. One particularly involving a young lady. Him and John Laurinaitis were on this case for him. And today, John Laurinaitis was cleared of the charges. But in order for that to happen, he has to flip on Vincent Kennedy McMahon. So, as Jim Ross would say, look from behind. Laurinaitis has put Vincent McMahon in a chokehold that potentially could change this case and turn it all the way that Vince didn't want to turn it, man. So, last bit of news from the night coming from the WWE. Vincent Kennedy McMahon is being backstabbed. I don't think I've ever seen Vince McMahon get backstabbed. I know he does the backstabbing. But John Laurinaitis has backstabbed his home. Vince McMahon. I wonder if Brock does it next.
The Brock one, I think, is the more pressing one. Because if Brock goes, it's a wrap for Vince. Like, if Brock goes, I don't know if he could survive the Brock. Laurinaitis one. So I want to be clear. It says in this excerpt that part of this agreement is a confidential settlement, which means Laurinaitis did some shit and he's settling quietly so no one knows what it was. And also now he's flipped it and turned state evidence. Like, so first and foremost, zero respect for who's the Animal. Yeah, that's Animal. Yeah, zero respect for Animal.
Brother.
Yeah. Oh, it's Animal's brother?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, zero respect for flipping like that, knowing you only doing it to save your ass. That's the definition of snitching. Fuck out of here. If you was doing the shit too, then bite the bullet and y'all both make them prove the shit, you know? But yeah.
The craziest part about the whole thing is apparently Vince's lawyers were starting to get it to, like, it came to a stalemate. Like, it was dead in the water almost, to where Vince was about to get off and there wasn't going to be no problems. Johnny Laryngitis freaking swapped on him, and now this whole can of worms is opened back up, and it's going to be a whole thing for another couple of months. But Will's right. He sold the whole thing and said, fuck it. He is no longer a defendant. He is now I forgot what it's called in the court of law, but he's now on
witness.
Yes, he is now exactly a witness to it, and now he is not liable, and he has his hands are free of it. His hands are washed. He cannot get in trouble now.
Look, if you genuinely didn't do anything, I don't condone snitching, but if you genuinely didn't do anything and you're being roped into something, I wouldn't do it myself, but I get like telling and pointing. But like, you clearly did shit. That's why you settled out. That's why you want a confidential settlement. And now you flipping. That's the worst kind of person. I'm out. And also, I want to be very clear, not defending Vince. Love what Vince did for my childhood, albeit crazy during the Attitude Era. Probably didn't need to see any of that, but I loved every minute of it. That being said, McMahon's a piece of shit, but we've always known that.
Vince, sorry, man. Had to be you, bro.
Your goose is cooked.
No, don't apologize to that, man. He's an animal. I know you love wrestling. You can love wrestling and still know he's an animal.
Hey, listen here, Vince, man. Listen here, man. Don't feel the same when you ain't here, Vince, dog. I'm just being real. I know he did a lot of crazy shit, man, but it don't feel as real as it was when Vince was there. Though it's a little bit more real analysis. Triple H is running it. Praise to Jim Ross as well. He definitely had a surgery. Praise. Jim Ross has been going through surgery since I was a young kid, man. Going through everything.
Yeah, after that stroke and half his face died. Yeah.
Ball palsy. He was the first person
the ball palsy.
I knew that had ball palsy. Yeah, man. So yeah, man. Dale's gonna probably talk about this tomorrow night on the Best in the World podcast. But I wanted to talk to it a little bit because I am wrestling swavy. I like wrestling. And there's times I can't make it to the Best in the World show. So I'm gonna bring some of the best in the world here, brothers.
You heard. And just we're not gonna go nearly as deep in it, but I just want to know. Take a look at this and see if y'all agree. And this applies to all of us for the most part. Do you agree with this list of top 10 college coaches?
Ryan Day is way too high.
Just won it all.
I feel like Marcus Freeman and James Franklin are too low. I feel like they replace Steve Sarkisian and Dan Lennon.
You can't replace Sark.
Look, Kellen DeBoer and Brian Kelly do not belong here, and I think Ryan Day's too high. Other than that, I'm cool with the list.
Marcus Freeman and James Franklin deserve justice.
Playing his black card every time.
With my crayon on. And Ryan Kelly should not be in the top 10.
Thank you, Tuke. I agree.
Really? Fine.
I just don't understand how with that.
Bill O'Brien should be in the top 10.
With the abysmal first season that Alabama had with Kellen DeBoer, how he is number 9 right now is just, it's shocking the fuck out of me at the moment.
Because I think they're understanding that they ended up still being competitive. They only lost 2 games that they really shouldn't have. And he had to fill literally the biggest shoes of all time.
And then goes on to lose to Michigan. Well, it's a bowl game. Never mind. Will's going to get on me about it. It's bowl game, Jake.
It's a bowl game.
Still lost.
Just whined about an actual fact.
Still lost it.
Yeah, it happens. Only one team can win them.
Sure.
But he's filling the shoes of the greatest coach of all time. That's not easy.
And I want to swap out the Clemson coach with Dan Lanning. I think Dan Lanning is a real fucking deal.
I like Dan Lanning too. However, Dan Lanning has, in the last couple of years, faced mostly no one. Like their schedules have been fairly easy.
But his first year in the Big Ten, and he beat Ohio State one time. I mean, that's something. And he not just Ohio State. He dominated the Big Ten and won the Big Ten title.
Yeah, but you have a little more respect for the Big Ten than maybe the rest of us do. Also, that's another thing about DeBoer. He's doing it in the SEC.
The second best conference?
Easily the best.
No, just the second. When's the last time they won a title?
I mean, you can argue with stats all you want. It's fine.
When's the last time they won a title?
Sometimes a broken clock is right twice a day. You get one every now and then.
Yeah, all right, whatever.
With that being said, when's the last time they won? When Georgia won? What are you talking about?
Exactly. 2 fucking years ago. The last two champions.
2 fucking years ago. Yeah, how dumb that sounds. 2 years ago. That's
the last 2 champions in the Big Ten.
Okay. Who cares?
Change of power starts somewhere. 2 years ago.
It does have to change somewhere, but it's not, unfortunately. All right, that has been your parlay perspective.
Shout out to everybody in here, man. Tonight, Sean Run, man. Appreciate you all.
Let me grab these names right quick. Shout out to Chris. Shout out to Tuke. You was in the chat and on the show. Shout out to Bobby. Damn it, Bobby, because you didn't get one earlier. Shout out to Lionel. Shout out to Was that you as SCWF or was that Unc?
That was me.
That was you. You're hilarious for that. Shout out to Coach. Shout out to Tuke twice again, I guess. Then. Shout out to my man Icky.
My king cake.
No, that's 3 times.
You should get a king cake. You contributed as 3 different people in this show.
Yo, Lil J Donuts, man. I hope you're still official sponsor of the SCWF TV shows. We need king cake.
Yeah, just keep sending us king cake. Act like the whole reward system never ended, like the whole thing. Let's keep it going. But yeah. And shout out to you fellas, man. Great show, Drake. Great show, Tuke. Shout out to Coach who was in here and vanished on us. He must have some pressing business.
Yes, sir.
It's a grown-ass man, dog. And, yeah.
I have a great night. Everybody's tune in to the rest of the beatdown in OKC. And if you're not going to tune into that, man, go to sleep, man, and get some rest for tomorrow, man. G's up, hoes down. If she can't swim, she going to drown, man.
You know what? We're going to end it on that. He's right. Y'all have a good night.
Thanks for watching our show. Remember to subscribe for more shows on the network. Smash the like button, share, and comment.